Hello everyone and welcome back to the Star Wars Archives. Today's video is going to be my breakdown and review of the latest Bad Batch episode, Part 12, Juggernaut. I'm going to get straight into the review, but before I do, I'd just like to say that if you do enjoy this video and any other Star Wars content, then be sure to like, comment and subscribe. So once again, we start off on Tantiss, where CX-2 has successfully delivered Omega to Dr. Hemlock, who sends her to Dr. Carr for immediate testing on her blood count. And we do see some concern and sadness on Dr. Carr's face. As we can see, she was probably hoping that Omega wouldn't actually return to Tantiss because she'll be in danger here. But then we cut to the Batch where we see they've reunited together and the Empire actually leaving Pabu, as Crosshair finally admits he might actually know a way to get to Tantiss. But it's not specifically him who knows, it's Vice Admiral Rampart who will know, the villain from Season 1 and the first half of Season 2. Now I'm so happy they brought him back. I love when a villain returns to a show but he's no longer the main villain. He might just be helping them out for some kind of reason that we don't know yet. Now in this case it's probably because he's been betrayed by the Empire, given that relation to Crosshair despite the fact they're adversaries. And Crosshair admits that he never actually wanted to return to Tantiss, which is why he never brought it up. And we can see the entire way through while he's talking about this, his hand is constantly shaking, which tells me the tremor is not actually physical and it's purely mental. And once he passes that mental block, maybe when he returns to Tantiss, that tremor will go away. Whilst talking about this, Fee arrives and admits she actually managed to sneak onto the island through the exact same cave that Asajj Ventress and CX-2 did, and she agrees to take them to the labour camp where Admiral Rampart is. When they arrive, they find out that Fee's stealthy approach is actually to just turn off her systems and they completely free fall down to the surface, which is a pretty cool way of doing it and it was a fun set piece. She then drops off the Batch, who reach the terminal, knock out a couple of unsuspecting TK troopers and discover the location of the Juggernaut tank, and sneak over to it. They easily break into the tank and acquire Admiral Rampart, who actually just assumes they are there to kill him, and he even recognises Crosshair. And Rampart even agrees to tell them where Tantiss is if they help him get off the planet. But after being discovered by the Empire, we actually see the Batch's Juggernaut tank and another Juggernaut tank go into head-to-head combat, which was just awesome to see, to be honest. They're one of my favourite tanks or just overall vehicles in the Star Wars universe, and we really don't get to see much of them, and we get to see all their weapons on display here. And obviously the Batch come out superior, actually ramping over the top of the other Juggernaut tank. And in all the chaos, Rampart actually tries to kill Crosshair as they're both knocked over. The Crosshair actually hits him with a Deadeye shot, which shows that he might actually be getting some of his skill back, and then proceeds to tase Rampart. Fee then arrives for the pickup. And to be honest, throughout this entire set piece, I was having flashbacks of Tech from last season. We're at the end of the season now, and we're going very quickly through the episodes, and there has to be some level of risk. I do think that at least one of our members of the Bad Batch will die towards the end of the season. And this would have been a way to catch us off guard when Wrecker was preparing for that jump. But he does make it, and all members of our batch manage to get away. When they are in space and back on the ship, Rampart says that there's no actual specific coordinates, as Tantiss was designed that way, but he should be able to figure out a way to get there. Whether this is through some other contact he has or some form of database, we're yet to see, but I'm sure we'll see it next week, as I don't suspect we're going to be getting any filler for the rest of the season, or hopefully not at least. And then for the final scene of the episode, we go back to Tantiss, where Omega's results are confirmed to Dr. Hemlock, and Omega's actually delivered to the same facility with the other Force-sensitive children, where she's going to have to stay there. Now that's everything that happened in this week's episode. I'm glad we're just going full speed ahead, getting through these episodes. I love the pace of this episode, and I'm sure all the other episodes are going to be like that this season, as I believe we only have 4 left. And I'm sure Omega's not just going to be sitting there doing nothing while she's on Tantiss, so I'm sure they'll cut between the Batch trying to get to Tantiss and Omega perhaps trying to figure out her own way to escape, or deciding that she wants to escape with the Jedi and take them with her. Or the young Force users, should I say, not the Jedi. So I'm sure at the end of the season, the Bad Batch are going to arrive and all of the clones and all of the young Force users are going to try escape. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of casualties. I mean, by the time of Star Wars Rebels, we only see Rex, Wolf and Gregor. So it's definitely going to be interesting what we're going to see, but it's so unpredictable and I have no idea, but I'm so excited. It was also really nice that they brought Rampart back, like I mentioned earlier. To be honest, after we didn't see him at the end of Season 2, I thought we were never going to see him again. But this is definitely a cool way to bring him back, as I'm sure he hates the Empire now just as much as the Batch after he was completely betrayed in the middle of the Senate by Palpatine. And it'll probably either go one of 2 ways. He'll have a change of heart and actually decide to help the Bad Batch properly, or after finding the location to Tantiss, he won't have a change of heart, which could either lead to him just not helping them, or not helping them any further, or even we see Crosshair mention multiple times that he's going to kill him. But if they don't manage to find any common ground between each other, I wouldn't be surprised if Crosshair kills him, to be honest, after everything he put him through. But yeah, that's it for this week's review and breakdown. If you did enjoy, be sure to like, comment and subscribe and be here for next week's one. Check out my socials in the description and my other YouTube shorts, and may the force be with you, always.